For the third year and counting, Richard Skipper has been celebrating the artists you love.
And what are some of the things that you've really
run out of time, and we've got to talk about your latest. I want to go back a little bit, first of all, and celebrate a true legend.
Richard Skipper is all about celebrating life, art, and his guest body of work.
And did you pursue performing opportunities while you were in high school?
Please join us while he showcases these diverse and talented individuals. Here's Richard Skipper.
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Richard Skipper Celebrates. Who or what are you celebrating tonight? There's a lot to celebrate. It's the beginning of a new week, and it's all in front of us, and it's all up to you with what you decide to do with it. Today is National Listening Day. Listen to your soul. Listen to the sounds around you. Listen to your neighbors. Listen to our guest tonight. I'm very excited because tonight we have Deni Bonet, and I have been listening to her music all day long. And I listened to my dear friend, Erin Kalev, who suggested her a couple of weeks ago. She's going to be appearing at Erin's brother's new restaurant in New Jersey in just a couple of nights. On Wednesday night, we're going to be talking about that in just a few moments. She is truly one in a million, and I'm about to prove that. Here she is, and on the other side of this, you will meet her. I am so excited tonight. Deni Bonet is our guest tonight. Everyone, you're in for a real treat. Here she is.
Shine on me brighter than any sun. I could see myself with you. You could be the one. You haunt my dreams. You keep me up at night, hoping we'll be together, 'cause it feels so right. Wish we were physical, but to you I'm invisible. This is so typical. Hey, I'm one in a million, girls. What is there not to like? We could be so good. Why am I not your type? Hey, we can go round the world, searching all day and all night. I'm one in a million, girls. So why am I not your type? Please don't say I'm living a fantasy. There've been so many others, so why not me? Call your name, I hang around your door. It could be that I'm crazy, I don't know anymore. Don't wanna be pitiful, sad or hysterical. This could be beautiful. Hey, I'm one in a million, girls. What is there not to
Well, maybe at the end of this show, you will be my type.
Okay, then.
Oh my God, I love this so much. I am so happy that you're here tonight. We almost thought that you would not be here tonight.
I almost thought, I was almost wondering if the Spectrum was going to let me have it with terrible storms this afternoon, and the power was, well, we had power, we just didn't have internet for a couple hours. So I was like, kept trying and trying. So,
but you are here. And I am so thrilled. Erin is watching. And Erin, please, please, in the comments, put the information about your brother's restaurant, because we want to get everyone there on Wednesday night. I begin all of my shows by asking, who or what are you celebrating tonight?
I am celebrating in a big way that this past week, and I did not know you were going to ask me this, but I've got to tell you, I am seriously, Richard, I'm celebrating that I released a new single this week on Tuesday, and it's up on Spotify and everywhere you listen to music. It's iTunes and everywhere, and I have links to that. But it's a new song called Why Not You? And basically good things have to happen to somebody. So why not you? I'm really hoping that I could sell it to maybe like the New York State Lottery or something. And then why not me? And then I can help pay for the record that I'm finishing. So,
well, maybe I'll get a new theme song.
Why not you?
Why not you? I love this. So I also start the shows with a surprise question. It's so surprise, in fact, that I haven't even looked at it. And the surprise question for you tonight is, would you rather be the funniest or smartest person in the room? And something tells me that you're both.
Well, I would think that if you were the smartest person in the room, then you would also have enough smarts to be the funniest person in the room. So it's a win-win. Is that a cop-out answer?
No, it's not. I think it's a great answer. And we're going to talk about the road that led you to wherever you are in terms of being the smartest or the funniest person. And the other question that I ask, and it's called a pay it forward question or a statement.
Okay.
With this, okay, I want you to, after tonight's show, that you will share this with someone that you feel needs to get the message that we're going to give tonight, which is positivity, because that's what I'm all about. And perhaps, even though we're going to give away one of your CDs tonight, that you will also pay it forward and give it to someone else in addition to the person we're giving it to tonight.
Absolutely.
That's
I'd be
great.
more than happy to.
So it's all about...
I have 5 concerts this week, so I have plenty of opportunity to give it.
That's great. Now, before the show started tonight, I asked for a photograph of you at 5 years of age. And thank you. You sent it. And there's a reason for that. And I love this photograph so much. Because to me, the 5-year-old self is the purest self. It's before life begins to tell you who you should or should not be. And I look at this face, and it's so innocent. Not that you're not still innocent.
Oh, I am totally innocent.
Yes. But I'd like you to tell us a little bit about who this little girl is, what you remember about the circumstances of this photograph, and everything you can tell us about her.
Well, that was actually, I was a little child model. So that was a modeling picture. And that was, I don't know, for some reason, they dressed me up like Heidi. So I can't exactly tell you that was like a look. I wore those braids now and then. My mother would put me in braids like that. But yeah, so, but I do know, in answer to your question about what was going through my head at the age of 5, besides smile for the camera, I think I very much wanted, I had these dreams, because when I was very little, I was one of these little kids who played, the Rachmaninoff piano concerto when I was 8. And when I was 4 and 5, I was playing the piano. So piano was my main instrument till I got to like 5th grade. And I had these fantasies I'd be playing the piano, like, and I actually would do this. I'd be playing the piano, practicing whatever in the living room, and I always dreamt that someone would knock on the door, and it would be Mr. Big, Mr. You know, whoever who is going to say, "You little kid, you're going to Carnegie Hall. You're going to be a star," and this was before I got involved. I was involved in theater through school, through my grade school and high school, and president of the drama club, president of the thespians. I was all of that. But the music thing, every time I would play, I would fantasize of being on a big stage somewhere. And it started back then. So if any Mr. Big is listening right now, it's never too late. Bring it on.
They're all there. And there's another photograph here as well, because we got two tonight. Look at this. I love this photograph.
I thought you would.
The world.
Not a clue what I was thinking. I looked at a ham. I was a ham then. I'm a ham now.
I love this.
It's a nice look, though. Don't you think I should maybe go for that?
I think it's a great look, and you have with the video that we saw, and we're going to see another video later on tonight. So everyone, stick around. You have a sense of color, a sense of style, and the phrase that I chose tonight, I choose a word or a phrase every day, is being the best. What does being the best mean to you? Not only on stage, but off stage as well.
That is such a good question. Because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I'm a workaholic, and I'm constantly striving to be the best at whatever I'm trying to do. We always have a joke. That's you up there. I love what you're trying to do. But I think for me personally, I had to really examine that question along the way here, because to me, I know it sounds really goofy, but I'd like to think that being the best is that I'm succeeding in reaching other people, and that I'm succeeding in my music, and what I'm trying to do with my music is helping people to be happy, because I've never been the kind of musician that stares down at my feet going, "Oh, I'm so miserable. I'm going to write a miserable song because I'm so miserable." If I'm not feeling happy, I write a happy song and I try to get myself out of it. So being the best for me is to accomplish reaching other people.
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to bring up a point that I've said before on this show. I was fortunate enough to call Carol Channing a friend. And she said, in this world, there are entertainers and there are performers. An entertainer is focused on the audience. A performer is focused on themselves. And obviously, you are an entertainer. You went right for, it's about reaching that audience. It's about reaching them. Has that always been there for you? And you mentioned earlier of having these dreams. You were playing Rachmaninoff when you were 4 years old.
And I was good. I was really good.
Of course you were. But do you believe in predestiny? Do you believe that you were destined for this business?
I totally believe it. I have no idea why I can do what I can do. I don't know. I do know that, there are people that work really hard, practice and practice and practice to get to a certain point. And then there are those who find it easier and can slack a little more. But, I've always found it easy. I've always found it very, very easy to learn pages and pages and pages of music. I find it a lot easier to learn. I'm terrible at Scrabble. Let me tell you, Scrabble, I stink. but music, no problem.
Now, did you grow up in a musical household?
I did. My mother played the violin when she was growing up. And my mother only I wish I could give you this picture of her because she was a hoot. She's no longer with us, and neither is my dad. But my mother would only pull out the violin when I would come to visit. And I had a little Jewish mother, Lenore, and my fans, they know all about the Lenore stories about my mother, who was a character in a big way. My mother was my best audience. She loved it. When I was in Cyndi Lauper's band for a couple of years and toured all over the world with her, and my mother would tell anybody, my daughter is playing with Cyndi Lauper. It's not Lauper, it's Lauper. And my mother sat on a tour bus. My mother sat on a tour bus with the whole band, and Cyndi was sitting straight across from us, and my mother's staring at her, and I'm going, Ma, cut it out, quit staring. She goes, she's got beautiful skin. And I'm like, that's nice, Mom, shut up. That's Cyndi, you have beautiful skin. And Cindy's like, well, thank you, Lenore. So my mother had the violin, and my father, I did not know until I was like in college that my father played the harmonica. Like, when he was young, he played like in harmonica bands and things. And one day I was home and someone gave me a chromatic harmonica, not even but a chromatic that goes on the side, right? And he picks it up and he starts playing it like really like Toots Thielman. I'm like, are you kidding me? But my father played piano, and he would always play the melody in the left hand. So it was like da-da-da-dum, boom, boom, ba-da-da-dum, boom, boom, and so yeah, and so when I was growing up, I would play piano, my mother would play the violin, and my dad would be doing something.
You just answered my next question. I was going to ask if you had jam sessions in your home.
They were special, yes.
Well, it sounds incredible. So you started out with the piano. When did the transition happen to the violin for you?
Well, when I was in 5th grade, they offered strings in the school. We'd moved from New Jersey to Northern Virginia. And when I was in 4th grade, still in New Jersey, I took up the flute. So my life could have been completely different if we'd stayed here. I'd be like, whatever, whatever side we hold that on.
Yes,
Yeah. So but we got there, and what happened was I stole the violin from under my mother's bed. And she didn't know because she never played it. So I took it to school, and the teacher thought I knew what I was doing because I showed up with a violin that was pretty good, pretty nice violin. So the teacher said to me, basically, why don't you help everybody tune their instruments? And so I'm winging it, and okay, I'll tune my instrument, no problem. Then I told my parents when it was time for the first concert, I'd sit in first chair of the junior high school orchestra, even though I was in 5th grade. So it came very easy to me. My parents then got me teachers, and they were super supportive all along. So,
I have a question from one of our guests, Danielle, who is like my spiritual guide. I'm going to put that out there. And she wants to know why you chose the color blue for the violin. Because she considers blue a very special color.
Oh, well, I had an endorsement from Barkus Berry, from a violin company. And I'm trying to think if I had the blue violin first. I think I did. I think I'd already picked it out because it was pretty and I was very attracted to it. And then they ended up giving me a green one, a purple one, a white one, a black one. You open up my closet and it's like, it all falls out on your head. But my blue one, which is right here, hold on. Oh, yeah, my baby.
Wow. And that's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so the blue violin, there's something magical about this instrument. I actually have a spare blue violin, which we gutted it and put in our own electronics. So it's got all kinds of, they don't come with all this magic. So we made it more magical. And which is why that my USB drive. See, my little mini USB.
Oh my God, I love that.
Ooh, see, got my name.
How, did you have these custom made?
Oh yeah, I told you I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, I love this. Now, I have a question from Frances Shea, but before I get to her question, I have a question because you said you moved to Virginia, and so you can set the record straight for everybody. There's the violin and there's the fiddle, and you could have, yes.
You ready? I'll do my demonstration.
Okay.
This is a violin. That is a fiddle. It's just the way you play it.
Right.
It's just the way you play it.
And Frances is asking, have you ever played the violin as a fiddle? So I'm sure you can answer that question for her.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I did. I had my summer jobs in college. I'm sure a lot of your listeners were somehow involved with live entertainment in amusement parks, and I did. One summer in Sandusky, Ohio, they came around to our school and auditioned us, and I got a part as Denny Sue in mountain music for an entire summer playing bluegrass, and it was great because that particular group was myself, this guy named Doug who was a theater major, and he knew, he sang like, "You fill up my senses." I'm like, that's not a bluegrass song. And I know all those songs, Thank God I'm a country boy. Oh, sure. Okay. And then we had a guy named Rod who played banjo, and he was from Nashville. He was the real deal. So he taught us all the songs, and we were spastic, absolutely spastic. I'd stand in the middle and I'd sing, "Roll in my sweet baby's arms, roll in my sweet baby's arms." And then we'd play, and then I'd go over there, he'd go over here, he'd be in the middle. And it was 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. It was crazy. And I shared a dressing room with a magician's pigeon that he painted green occasionally. And it was just nuts. A rabbit. We had it all. So, and then I got a job my senior year, the summer before my senior year, playing at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Wow, I know it well. I know where it is. Yes.
It was 1,000 degrees in the shade. And we'd do a 15-minute show, take a half hour. No, we did a half-hour show, take a half-hour break there. And
how many shows a day? Tell them that.
There was, I think, 6, 7 shows, something like that. But it was so hot. And my outfit was designed in the summer. I mean, in the winter, and it was made out of denim, and it was so thick that it would stand up by itself. And so I went to the live entertainment, to the costuming, and I said, there is no way in hell I'm going to wear this all summer long. I will die. I can't, So they gave me a costume from one of the shows. I played at the Canadian Palladium all summer long, and they gave me a gingham dress that had been one of the other Canadian Palladium shows the year before, which had so much gingham on it that seriously, you could have had picnics for everybody in the state of New York from the gingham, and picnic tables, because it was just crazy. So that
I can imagine lots of crinoline and.
No, we didn't have a crinoline. It had so much. No, it had so much material that it still stood out, because it was like, seriously, I'm telling you, it had 50 layers of gingham down to the ground, So we had the Broadway bluegrass people, we had it all.
Now, one of my guests, Davis Gaines, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Broadway actor. He was one of the Phantoms. He said, being in this business is like being in the midst of a pinball machine. He said, you go into this business with a game plan, and then all of a sudden you're bandied around by the people you meet, the circumstances that happen. You've had this incredible career. If we were to just list the people that you've worked with, and as I like to say, the people who have worked with you.
Oh, but of course.
Yes, we'll be here all night long. But,
go ahead.
But did you map out a game plan for yourself, or did it just happen from circumstances and the people that you met along the way?
Honestly and truly, I have to say it was along the way. I've been really, really, really lucky because I ended up going to school in West Virginia, of all places, at West Virginia University, thus the Fiddle. But I had a conductor in my high school orchestra who had gone to West Virginia University. And so for her, I was like her little prize. And she literally drove me to West Virginia for the auditions. So, myself, it was crazy. She took me there, and she was also a partier. She got a lot of trouble later, but it was like, let's go to West Virginia. We drank our way across the state. It was great. But anyway, for me then anyway, because I was young and crazy. Now I'm older and crazy. But anyway, I went, I got a scholarship. They basically paid my way to go to school, which was great. And then right out of college, I ended up in a Texas swing rock and roll band. And so went a little bit, playing, rocking out a little bit more, and then right from there, right from college, I ended up on Mountain Stage on public radio, which through there I met REM and Sarah McLachlan, and all these people came on the show, and I ended up playing with them, and I ended up getting asked by someone named Suzanne Radigan, who at the time she had a giant record deal, and she asked me if I wanted to tour Europe, and I'm like, yeah, bye. So, it was after quite a few years, but I left and did that. And then
you consider that your first big break? I mean, with some people, it's interesting because breaks in this business are a matter of personal perception. From the outside eye, some people may consider that a big break for you, but from your own perspective, you may think this was the actual stepping stone that got me to where I wanted to go. What do you consider that first big break for you that you feel catapulted you on the path that you're currently on?
I very much have to say it was Mountain Stage, because that was my first. Because, I wanted to drop out of school and go into the theater. And my parents were very much like, you do that, you do it on your own, you'll lose your scholarship. And, but I auditioned for Three Penny Opera in college and got a part and couldn't take it because they wouldn't let me out of orchestra. Thank you very much. And, I was like, but I did it. I listened to my dad, who said, you could be, you could go back to theater, but you can't go back to playing music like you do, the practicing and getting your so-called chops up, as they say. And, he was right. He was right about that, because what I do now is total theater. I get to do it all. So,
and you're in control.
What's that?
You're a director, producer. You create your own theater now.
I do. I'm also a videographer too. I just finished doing a new video for the new single. We've all had to learn how to wear many hats. But I would say Mountain Stage, because that show went national and it's on all over the world. So, I did that until I finally got to the point where I said, I'm ready for my next stepping stone, Mr. DeMille. So, and at that point I left, went on that tour, and lived in England for a little bit, and then finally came to New York, because I always wanted to live in New York. I always had the dream to live in New York. So even when I was living in West Virginia, we had a band also that kind of resembled the Mountain Stage band, the same players, but we went out and played a lot of concerts and a lot of original music, and it was great. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful time. But I came here, I had a manager, and started putting out records. And from there, I've just, I just, every time I think, okay, what can happen now? Why am I doing this? Something else wonderful happens. And I just have to keep believing it. Another big thing was 5 years ago, I was asked to play Carnegie Hall, and I've done it 4 times now to sold out crowds at Carnegie Hall. So we were supposed to do it last year, unfortunately, because they thought, they skipped a couple of years. So I guess it was more than 5 years ago. 2017, the first time I did it. And then we skipped a couple for the plague. And then we were going to do it this past year, and they decided to wait 1 more year. So I'm hoping that they decide to do it this year. So, and then I get to wear another gown. Because
I have been very, very fortunate that I've had the chance to perform on the stage of Carnegie Hall. I know what that experience was like for me. Can you describe the first time that you walked on stage at Carnegie Hall and what that experience was like for you?
The first time I played was not with my band, and it was with somebody else, and we're not going to talk about him right now because it was a thing, but it was a rock band, and I was the soloist. I was out there in a black leather mini skirt and go-go boots and strutted across that stage like there was no tomorrow. It was a rush. But what was even bigger rush was during the sound check, there wasn't anyone around, and I got to stand on the stage and just improvise and play. And it was like, I looked up and I'm like, oh my, Carnegie Hall.
And you realize the majesty of every famous person that stood on that very same spot.
Yeah, especially when you go backstage and you look at the walls backstage and all the pictures backstage.
I know.
It's a rush. It's a total rush.
I want to go back to that moment when you went to Europe, and that was your first time out of the country?
Was that my first time? Actually, that was my first time. Was that no, it wasn't my first time. First time I'd gone out of the country was with a previous life. I've had a few lives. I'm like a cat. But it was like my first life. And I was married to somebody who was also a musician. And we went and basically busked, I can say it. We busked our way across France. And
you want to explain what that means for those who may not understand what busking is?
Played music on the street for
That's
money,
right.
for change.
Yes.
And, I remember I was doing all of me. Why not take all of me? He's playing guitar and I played violin. And we were but we had enough money for the trip. We just did it for the love of music and for the love of, let's see if we could get more money. So it's kind of addictive. So we ended up with bags and bags of coins. And I remember going to the Musée d'Orsay. We had like a bucket of coins and got to the window, and because you have to actually make an appointment to go to a bank to change it into real money. But we hadn't done that, so we just took this money and went and dumped it. And they were like, you could see they're like counting it off, going, "Oh, crazy Americans, we hate you," But we got to go in a couple times with our change.
Now, do you like being on the road?
I love being on the road. I'd be on the road all the time, except for the time that I want to come home. So the beauty of being on the road is you get to come back and appreciate your home and your life and your friends and family and, and seeing the world. I mean, I've played in Ireland quite a few times recently. I have a woman who was booking me in Belgium. I just got a new booking agent out of France, but we're talking about next year, the beginning of next year, going all over Europe again. So, yeah, I like frequent flyer points are great. I'm scared. I love it.
Now, you are pretty much freelancing right now. You're doing your own thing, but are you still working with other bands as well?
I am. Guess who I just played with? Last month I got a call on like Thursday to play the following week with Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I mean, I worked really hard, I have to tell you, because I had a lot of music to learn in a short amount of time. But Tears on My Pillow, and it was just, he does a version of All by Myself that was just, I mean, he still has an incredible voice. So he actually offered me on the spot, another show in August, which I couldn't do because I already have another show, but hopefully they'll ask me to do some more.
Well, that's always a nice place to be, Deni.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining at all. My dance card is getting pretty full. Like I said, I've got, I do a lot of, lately we do a lot of library gigs. And at first it was kind of like, I'm doing a library, but now I love them because it's an audience of people who are there to hear music, and people right now who are so happy to have live music. It's free. We're playing in Westfield, New Jersey tomorrow at the Westfield Memorial Library at 7:00. I'm playing Goshen. I'm playing Goshen on Saturday afternoon at 2:00. And then I have another show on Saturday night, and doing something else. Well, the Wednesday, Aaron's brother's place. That was supposed to be a festival that unfortunately didn't happen. And Aaron asked me if I'd want to play at the Sidebar, and I said yes, let's do it. So I got more on another library next week. Tuckahoe, we're playing the Tuckahoe Library next week, and then I'm playing Carnegie Hall, West Virginia. It's one of the 4 Carnegie Halls. It's a gorgeous hall. That's in November. Cafe 9 in New Haven. So my website has everything on there, the whole list. And I play with a really dear friend of mine, an amazing, amazing guitarist named Chris Flynn, who also sings. And the two of us are friggin' adorable. Yes, we are. So, we've been doing a lot of stuff, mostly as a duo, and it's a lot of fun. Chris played baseball for Notre Dame. And so he's baseball, guitar. See, he's got both sides.
Now, are you able to take your baby on the road with you?
My baby, she's asleep over there. I'd have to climb over to get her. But
Saw her in the video for just a brief moment.
Yeah. No, actually, she's happier at home. She's, I'm not one of those people that it's like here, stay home with Dad.
Well, I'm going to show another video, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some wind down questions. I am in love with you. I am. You are.
Are we going to hang out?
We're going to hang out, but hold on for just a moment.
Cheers.
I've got another clip. So here we are. Wow. Just wow. That's all I can say is wow. Did you do all the editing for this as well?
No, no, not at all. Anana Kay. It's Anana, Anana Kay, who is a great singer-songwriter herself, and just a genius when it comes to video. They filmed it too and everything. So that one, yeah. And I want to mention also, I got to tell you, 3 weeks ago, I got to play with the Symphonic Pops of Long Island, and I've played now with I've soloed with a few symphonies, and we did that song that's been orchestrated for full symphony. We did that one last time. But the orchestration is amazing. I wrote that song with oh my God. I am so blanking. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll think of it in a second. Steve Gabori. Sorry, Steve. I'm just in Jamaica. I've got lights on me. They're hot. But he's a good friend of mine too. We've written tons of stuff together. But Steve Gabori plays piano and has worked with Cyndi Lauper for years. And so we wrote that song together. And I just basically finished a whole album, but I'm going to release them like one song at a time. So it'll be a while before I got to milk it for all it's worth. So I've written a couple of songs on the new album with Steve.
Well, that's great. The comments are wow, magnificent, powerful.
Oh, so, thank you.
There you have it. So we're going to do some wind down questions, and I'm going to add.
Relax.
I'm going to add this being the best, which you are, and this is just some fun questions to give us a little bit more about you. And the first question is, what is the best ritual of your daily life?
Walking the dog. My husband's in the other room laughing right now, going, "No way! I do love to walk the dog." No, I mean, that is a beautiful ritual. You get up and she looks at me and she goes, "I love you." Lick, 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 lick. Take me out. So.
And at the end, we'll bring both of our dogs on for a goodbye at the end of the show. Okay. What do you consider the best prize that you've won in this business?
The best prize. I would have to say that being asked back again and again to play Carnegie Hall. I know I keep coming back to that, but that's a prize.
No, that's a prize.
I know I could sit there and get philosophical and say, there is that. But also when somebody comes up to me and says, I was sad and now I'm happy, I used to play quite a bit for Hearts and Voices, which was the music industry fights AIDS. And we would go into facilities and, I would actually play the track and do it myself because I felt like my karma doesn't necessarily have to mean someone else's karma. I need accompaniment. So I had someone afterward tell me after a concert, pull me aside and say, "Thank you for that 1 hour, I forgot I had it." And I just went outside and lost it. So that was a prize.
My friend Doug just wrote, "This hour is such a lift." So thank you. Thank you. Do you, my next question, do you meditate?
I do. Sometimes I'm better with it than others. I will go months and months and I wish I could say I meditate every morning. When I do meditate, I feel great. And I do yoga. I've been a little off of it the past couple of months, only because I've been trying to get this single and done and everything. And I get so wrapped up in work, and I got to get back to my meditation because I'm sure my meditation teachers are listening right now. Right, Jan? So I will meditate again.
Well, my friend Danielle, as I said, my spiritual soulmate, she says your gnome behind you meditates.
Yes, my gnome does meditate. And it makes me laugh at the same time, which is a good thing.
Well, my next question, you pretty much have told us tonight. What are you currently working on? What's next? Tell us something that you're working on or what's next that you haven't mentioned tonight.
That's a very good question. It's really I'm working on another video. I just have to tell you, because it's going to be coming out in about a month. Before the pandemic, I was I was an arts envoy for the U.S. government, and they sent me to Zanzibar for a month.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And basically, I went to a music school and taught violin and songwriting and rock and roll for a month in Zanzibar. And they gave me an apartment. I learned how to barter for tomatoes. If I wanted to eat a tomato, I'd have to go, I am not, you know, I do this in the market. This a lot. It worked. How much for the egg? But I ended up going back on my own the following year. I did a concert for in Dar es Salaam for the U.S. Embassy there, and I was working with a young rock band. When I say young, I'm talking like young 20s, and they were phenomenal musicians. These guys were outrageously good musicians, and I wanted them on my record, darn it. So I went back the following year on my own and took them in the recording studio. And I had no idea what I was going to do with them. We just basically, I give them a chord progression. They would play it. They'd play a little of their own stuff and whatever. And I brought back like hours of jamming, and myself and a producer and my engineer, the three of us went in and cut it all together. And I put it into a song, and I wrote words. And so they're playing on the record, and the song is called All Around the World, Music is Love. And I got a bunch of friends of mine who are pretty famous we ended up doing everything remotely because we didn't have a choice. And people sent me they sang the chorus, and there's a big choir at the end. And it's great. I mean, it's got the African singers on it, and, you know, I'm singing there. It's great. It's timely. So I'm finishing the video for that, but the track is finished, so that'll come out first. So that is a biggie. I want that to come out and do something.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear that. And Danielle has a comment. She says, meditation doesn't have to be serious. Walking can be meditation. Walking your dog is meditation. Music can be meditation too. I'm sure there are people who reach a meditative state through your music, and that's true. So
I do. When I'm performing, sometimes there's a couple songs that we play that I basically will even tell the audience, I'm shutting my eyes. I want you to do the same, and we're going to go someplace together. And I channel, and it's, you know, it's beautiful. And actually, that's that one song, you can hear it. There's a beautiful video that Anana did called Palisades. So do a search for me, Palisades, and you'll see the video.
Absolutely.
And meditate.
Who is the person most similar to you in the business?
Oh, Carol Channing, of course. Is there any question?
Well, I will say that you have the same spark, so that's absolutely true.
I don't know.
No, I will take that. I love that. That's a good answer. I would have taken that.
I'll go with that. I love Carol Channing.
Yes. Who is the most interesting person that you feel that you've ever met in this business? And I know you've met so many, and it's hard to pinpoint one, but someone that you met that exceeded your expectations of who they were all about.
Michelle Obama. Barack Obama. The Obamas. Yeah, I was honored to get to ask to play the White House for them. And our reward for playing was, I did it with an Irish musician named Mundy, who I love and adore. And after we played, we got down off stage and met Joe Biden, who put his hand out. We talked to him for a while, and then we were told to go to the reception and hang out. And then at some point, they went like this to my shoulder and said, "Come on in." So I met. First, we thought we were going to meet them together, and we actually met Barack. I'm on a first name basis, okay? And they had us sort of standing in our spots, and he said something that I thought was so wonderful. We chatted for like 8 or 9 minutes. And, it could have been 20 minutes, could have been 2 minutes, I don't know, but I think it was about 8 or 9. And we talked to him for a while, and he basically said, "Well, I would love to sit here and talk to you guys for a while longer, but if I don't wrap it up, I'm not going to have time to see my girls tonight."
Wow.
And my heart went, "Oh, that is so sweet." And it was genuine. He wasn't just saying it. I could tell. So then we went out, we said goodbye, we shook hands, had our picture taken. And then we went out, and then Michelle Obama walks up to me and gave me a bear hug and said, "I love the performance." And I'm just like, and she was, you talk about, exuding warmth, and it was just, by this point, I was so overwhelmed. And, we talked to her for a few minutes, and then I went out, we said goodbye, we went out, and I was standing in the hallway, and someone came up to me to say that they enjoyed the performance, and I burst into tears and said, "I can't." I just, I was so moved.
That is what an incredible story. And that's exactly how I picture both of them.
They were amazing. It was amazing.
That is wonderful.
Warmth.
What are your expectations and desires for the rest of this year?
Well, the rest of this year is, like I said, my dance card's getting full. I've got a lot of concerts. I mean, I just want to continue to release the singles and get to the end of the year and play live. I've got, go out, play live. I'm really hoping that I get to go somewhere fun last year we went to Portugal. My husband and I went to Portugal over Thanksgiving. So we might go someplace fun. I'm going to California next week to see my stepkids, and that's going to be fun. And I just enjoy life. What can I say? I just want to enjoy. I just want to not get bogged down with all the crap that's going on in the world right now. Not to say you should ignore it. Please don't ignore it. But take time for yourself, to find yourself and to be happy, because there still is happiness that you can find in this world. And that's what we have to do, is we have to be there for each other to find that and to be kind. I know we keep seeing it. I see t-shirts, be kind, but it's true. You have to be kind. You have to be nice.
Absolutely. Question from Danielle. When does the new Why Not Me single release?
Well, first of all, you got to know it's Why Not You? Why Not You? Why Not You? It's released. That one came out on Tuesday. So Why Not You? Go to Spotify. If you have Spotify, go to Spotify. Please go to Spotify, because we're trying to get the numbers up on Spotify. And even if you don't have it, just get it, listen to the song, press like, and I'll love you forever. Follow me there if you have Spotify. But it's available everywhere. It's available on my website. It's available on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere. You can get it anywhere. It's
wonderful. There. And I think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you practice gratitude? And if so, name 4 things that you are grateful for today.
Today?
Yes.
This is going to sound dippy, but I'm grateful for you because I feel like I got a new friend.
I think so too.
We've been hanging this past few days.
Yes.
So
thank you, Aaron. I'm grateful for Aaron.
Oh, me too, in a big way. So can I have more than for, because I'm really grateful for lots
Yes.
of things. I'm grateful for my husband, who has been so supportive and puts up with me on a daily basis. And he's in there going, "Oh, really?" But seriously, thank you, Andy. And I am grateful that when I was out earlier and between rainstorms, I got to just say hello to other people who were walking dogs between rainstorms. And, you know, I was just happy that I live in a nice neighborhood and have a good view, and then I can look at the water every day. And yeah, that's a lot. I'm grateful for a lot.
That's wonderful. And this is my last question for you. What would be most like to be? What would you most like to be remembered for after you pass on? Many, many, many years from now, of course. But what do you want to be remembered for?
I would like to be remembered for oh, without sounding, I just want to be remembered for having made people feel joyful, feel joy.
Well, you've done that tonight. I'll tell you that. I, like I said, I've been listening to your music all day, and it's just incredible. We're going to give away. Let's see, being the best, and I think that for some reason there must be some glitch tonight in the internet, because I am seeing here. Am I seeing that only one person responded with being the best?
Uh-oh, maybe only one person wants it.
No, no, I'm seeing here that more than one person has responded, but I think that there seems to be a glitch here. I'll find a way to. I don't understand.
And get me an address, because otherwise I have no idea how to get it to them. So.
I will do a drawing and get it to you, because for some reason I see that other people have put in being the best, but for some reason it didn't register tonight. I think there must be some problem with the internet. Anything, we'll find a way to get the music out to as many people as possible.
Can I leave you with a very funny little story?
Oh yes, of course.
So there's these things called mix tiles, and I don't know if people have seen them. I love them. I put them all over the house because they're fun. And it's basically, you know, you take a picture, you send it to them, and they send you these tiles with the picture on it. And Andy, my husband, wanted to have copies of like all of my CDs so that he could put them, you know, by his workspace. And one of my CDs is called "It's All Good," because it's all good. And this is the only time that mix tiles messed up, and it came out. I don't know if you could see it. It's all goo.
It's all goo.
It's all goo. The D cut off and the T. So it's Deni Bonet. It's all goo. But that makes me laugh. But remember, it's all goo.
So let me keep talking for just a moment. Give us the information about Wednesday night. And while you're doing that, I'm going to try something. Give us the information for Wednesday night.
Okay.
And we'll be able to fix this issue.
Okay. Well, let's do Tuesday night first. Tomorrow night is in Westfield, New Jersey, at the Westfield Memorial Library at 7:00. That's free. And then on Wednesday night, I'm going to be at the Sidecar. Erin, help me here. Sidebar in Hackensack, and Erin has the address. She'll put it over there in the comments, or you go to my website, which is www.denibonet.com, and all my gigs are on there. Everything, all the information and everything. The whole world is on my website.
I think I was able to fix this. So we're able to do the drawing. Good. I realized what the problem was. So
Drum roll, please.
here we are.
Oh,
So here
wow.
we are. I did it. I did it. I did it.
That's impressive.
So yes. Aaron!
Aaron, that makes it easy.
That makes it.
I don't have to send it now. Sidebar Gastropub. There you go.
Yes.
Aaron,
So,
Aaron, you can have whatever you want, Aaron.
So you'll be seeing her on Wednesday night anyway, so that makes it easy. Aaron,
Just go into my bag and take it all out, whatever you want.
Thank you. So I am going to remove this here. I am going to bring this up here. I'm going to say my closing remarks. Then I'm going to leave the screen, and Deni, you're going to have the final word tonight. It can be about anything that we talked about tonight that you want to build upon, anything that we didn't talk about that you wish we had, or just any final word about anything you want to leave everyone. Don't worry about how to end it. As soon as you say goodbye, the final credits will roll. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I know I can speak for Deni when I say this. We don't take it lightly when you show up. Deni, can you bring Benny? He was outside, so he may be a little muddy.
This is Gidget.
Yes. So we're going to bring Benny in. So, yeah. Hold on.
This is Gidget as a rabbit.
Yeah. So here's Benny. So, Benny and
We're
Gidget.
We're going for it, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going for it. And this is Deni.
Hi, Dani.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, I want to say to everybody, thanks for being here tonight. I know you could have been anywhere else tonight, but you chose to be here. So thank you. Be your best this week. Be your best in everything that you say and do, with what you post on social media, with how you respond to the people that you come in contact with everything that you say and do this week. It rests with you. When it comes to social media, remember there are three things: like, comment, and share. Think about this. Is it going to elevate the people that will see it? Is it going to elevate the person that you're writing about? And is it going to elevate you? If it's going to do those three things, then share. If it's not doing any of those things, delete it. It doesn't need to go any further. We're all responsible for what we put out into the world, and it's up to us to be our best. Be the best. Let that be your mantra as we go through the day and tomorrow. And keep the music flowing. Deni, all of her social media platforms will be on my YouTube channel. And speaking of the YouTube channel, please, after tonight's show, leave a comment on YouTube. Let us know what you think of the show. Share this with your friends. Let other people know about Deni and her amazing music. And let's keep the music flowing, because without music on this planet, it's a very dreary place. So that will uplift all of us. So I always end every show, as all of you know, by telling everyone to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Go to your Facebook friends list and reach out to the fourth person that pops up and reach out with a phone call. Not an email message, not a text message, not a private inbox message, but a phone call. And let that person know what they mean to you. Because as my dear friend Sean Monaker always says, we're all in this together, but we're not in the same boat. And you never know what someone else is going through right now. But I always say, if you're going to go out in a boat, make sure you bring a skipper along. So I'm going to leave the screen, Deni, and it's all yours. And I hope that you'll come back sometime.
I hope
Thank
that'll
you.
happen.
And it's all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Well, I just want to thank Richard so much for having me as his guest this evening. I had a great time. I could hang out here all night, seriously. But I just want to leave you with a message that I did a lot of streaming shows and over the pandemic, because unfortunately I couldn't play out live. So I had to do it right here in this setup. And I would always ask people to do a toast. And but before we do the toast, I want to once again do a shameless self-promotion for this new single, please. But the lyrics to the chorus are, "Why not you? Why not you? Why shouldn't you be the lucky one that it happens to? Some things got to turn out right. Somebody's dream has got to come true. Why not you? So I'll leave you with this. To all of us, to everyone around the world, and to each other. Thanks so much. I'm Deni Bonet. Thank you, Richard Skipper. Take care.